I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, helps support the cause.
I feel on the ball today.
Absolutely, I feel on the ball today. It's a Monday. It's a fantastic day to kick the week off, and super excited to be here with you guys. I am Mark Nudelberg, as I always am.
You don't change, man. I like that. It is, I am Steve Nudelberg. I founded this whole goddamn thing.
You did start all of this. This is all your fault, is another way we could say that.
We spoke with Carrie Lynn Shaw on Friday about her upcoming podcast, and we were giving, she was interested in some direction, and it's like 961 shows later, man.
Right.
We could give you some pointers.
We can give you an idea on what works and what doesn't.
Yes, indeed. Good morning. Patrice is here. Scott Garber in the family. Kelly Martin, who is in town, and we are going live and in person with her today around lunchtime. Michelle Potteroff, magnificent Monday. Yes, it is. But I will tell you this, it is hot. It is. Yesterday was one of those days where it was like, oh boy.
The house won't cool down at this point. Yeah. Right. Like it was like 9:00 last night, and it was like the air was just still humming. And I looked at Gabby and I was like, I don't think it's shut off all day. Like I think it was legitimately running the entire day. It is hot, but it was a great weekend down here in South Florida.
Yeah, we had a great time. We were out Friday night with our friends and clients, Eddie Dykes and Tracy Dykes. We went out Saturday night with the Cagnettas. Friday is my Friendship Friday. So I saw Byron, who sends his regards to you. Howie Craw. It was a bald day. The bald man.
A lot of bald guys. A lot of bald guys in general. Andy's bald. Howie's bald.
It was crazy. It was just a really nice, great time. Helen and I decided to walk on Saturday morning. So we got out and we walked just before the afterburners were on. I think we got back from our walk. I sent it to Jake. He blew out 2,000 calories. We walked miles and miles and miles, but near the end, I was like dragging my knuckles, man. It was hot, man. I was like, get me inside. Any pictures from the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great weekend. Got to spend time with the boys, which was awesome. Tried a couple of new tequilas. So for those people out there, I'm on a no additive tequila search now. I'm looking at all the brands who make tequilas that have absolutely no additives. Obviously, they're 100% agave. So I tried Volans and I tried Cascanes. Both of them delicious. The Reposado, the Cascanes Reposado was amazing.
Wow.
And then Saturday night celebrated Gabby's birthday, which was Wednesday. So had the opportunity to go out, just the two of us, and be adults. We decided to try Evelyn's because we've never tried it. I don't recommend it for anybody. It was overpriced, over-seasoned, over-sauced. But interestingly enough,
even worse, sorry to interrupt, but even worse, pretentious.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The group of people that were there, whatever. It was the Four Seasons. But so as we pulled up to the Four Seasons Valet to get out, first of all, before that, we had a plan. We had Gabby's mom come down for the night so that she could babysit. We went out early. We went to Nube, the rooftop at the Hilton.
I still haven't been there.
First of all, you have to have an ID. They won't let you up there without an ID. It doesn't matter how old you are. And Gabby had left her purse or her entire wallet in the car. They almost didn't let us up there. And I was like, it's 6:00 on Saturday. Like, what are you talking about? I'm going to the rooftop to get a drink. So we go up there and it was hopping. The bar was packed. The tables were packed. A ton of people. I looked at the food. I would not suggest the food, but it was a really cool spot to get a before dinner drink. Beautiful view of the ocean.
That's
Obviously,
our
they had
beach
the
club.
music.
That's our
Yeah.
beach club. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's just it's on the whatever floor, the 30th floor or whatever it is. So like you're overlooking all of Fort Lauderdale Beach. So it was a great place to get a drink. But as you said, it was still hot. Like it was 6 o'clock. So we sat out there for one drink. We met a really nice couple who works, the husband works for Caterpillar. We get to talking with them. They live in Dania or whatever. But like by the end of the conversation, my forehead was dripping sweat. I was like, we got to go somewhere else. So we go back to the Four Seasons, and who do we see leaving the Four Seasons? Coach Mike McDaniel.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, walking out with his family. His daughter was gassed. They must have been playing at the pool because she was asleep on him, and he was with a buddy of his and a couple. But, as he walked by, I said, hey, Coach. He said, hey, buddy. And, it's just cool. It's cool to see him.
I've seen him a couple of times over there, so I don't know if he has membership or there's something, but that's where I've seen him walking in front of the Four Seasons.
Yeah, he must like have a space.
Did he go silent?
You hit your mic there, buddy.
I got muted. Sorry, I got muted.
There you go. Anyway, so great weekend. It's the 15th, mind-boggling. It's the 197th day of the year. There are 169 days left to get your ass in gear and make this the best year of your life. You can do that. It's the 29th Monday. Lots of good numbers, but there's only one number that is staring me in the face. Shay, show me that number. Boom!
52 days until I know I can feel it now. Like you got the Giants Hard Knocks out. Like we're in July. Last Friday, I got my parking passes in the mail, and as soon as I got them, I sent the picture to you guys. I was like, yes. Oh, we're close. The first group text had been sent to the fantasy football chat this weekend, so you could feel that it's getting close.
It's pretty unbelievable, pretty exciting, lots of good stuff going on, but the best thing about this Monday is that my youngest son is in town again, man. He is back.
Yeah, Jake's back from his 2-week venture across the world, where he went to London and was on set for Mission Impossible, then to Italy, then to Greece, then spent a week in Croatia. It was hard. We only really caught up one time while he was over there, even though we were texting back and forth. We were on such a different time difference. We never really had a conversation. So I'm excited for our Monday meeting this morning, so we get some stories from him.
Yeah, I had breakfast with him yesterday. It was awesome. It was super cool catching up. But we got things to do.
Hold on. I have a question for you, being a parent,
yes.
Right? Like a 26-year-old son who goes then travels for 2 weeks across the country or across the world. Were you nervous? Were you ever what's he doing? Where is he?
That's a really good question. So first of all, let's put things into perspective. When I was 26, you were born.
Right.
I wasn't going on 2 weeks anything, man. There was no worldly vacation. Under normal circumstances, I think I might be a little intimidated by it, but he is such a good traveler. He's so alert, aware. He does the research. He plans. He'd make an amazing travel agent. So I trust his decision making, and so the answer would be no.
That's awesome. What a great answer. What a great answer. Let's go.
Let's wake up, then. Let's go. So we don't make this show political or controversial, but man, there's some fucking crazy shit going on in the world, man. It is.
Yeah, it was nuts. Obviously,
did you see what happened at Hard Rock last night?
Oh no, what happened at Hard Rock?
They delayed the game for an hour because.
Oh, you're talking about Hard Rock Stadium. I thought you were saying Hard Rock the casino. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Copa America was nuts.
Oh, like listen, man, they were like, oh, we're embarrassed or this and that. They better get this shit together for the World Cup.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the fact that they underestimated whatever that scene was going to be like, the ticket prices were absurd. I mean,
$2,500 in the building
to get in, just to get in the building and be anywhere near it.
And there were people who said, "Forget it, I'm jumping the wall. I'm going in anyway."
Crazy, so absolutely crazy.
Just nuts. Anyway, we start every day pushing all the negative out by creating new space for, that's in our head. And we do call it a daily affirmation. Would you read today?
Today seems like a really good day to forgive yourself for the things you did when you didn't know any better. And I'm going to say, even if you did know better, you're always doing the best you can with all that you have. And that's really all that you can do. Leave the past in the past. It's a new day, baby. Wake up, move forward, get your ass going, let go, and let's go together.
So my post, first of all, your content is continually great. Now you bounce around and put family. Today you talked about Nick Saban, which the guy, you can't argue, man. It's just
80% of his games in his career as a college football coach, he won. Yeah. That's a ridiculous number. It's a ridiculous number.
It's a ridiculous number in anything you do.
Right.
Sorry. If I hit 80%, we wouldn't be doing the show. I'd be in Maui.
Right. No, it's like there's no arguing with his philosophy. So yeah, I get it.
So anyway, so my post yesterday was about, if you looked at your brain, your head, as a place where things rent space, kick that tenant out, kick that bullshit out. Bring in all of the stuff, and that's what daily affirmations are supposed to do. So I'm constantly listening, learning. One of my friends and clients who we were supposed to do on Friday an international travel, thwarted our attempt to have Sean Flood on. We are attempting to do a double Huddler in the hot seat this week and have him join us on Wednesday. But he had asked me a question about reading. And I said, I started out the year trying to read a chapter a day or something like that. And what I found is books are not that appealing to me, but short bursts of content really work for me. So I am in Fast Company Inc., all of the stuff I do with Seth and Adam Grant and, Simon Sinek. So one of those pieces of content came through from Jesse. No surprise. And the question he said you could ask yourself is, would I recommend myself? Would I? And it was particularly,
as whatever it is, right?
It was particularly important to me because I had spent Saturday reaching out to the people I'm either working with or have worked with and asked them for a recommendation that I can share with other people. That's how I have 175 people who I've worked with who are willing to recommend. So anyway, he said, would I recommend myself as a dad, as a business partner, as a coach, as a boss? And if not, why? So Mark, I ask you this morning, Monday morning, July 15th, would you recommend yourself?
1,000% I would recommend myself. And it comes back to something that I think Coach Saban always talked about, which is who you are is more important than what you do. So less important would I recommend myself because of what we actually do, but more because of who I am, because the way I think I want to look out for the best interests of the people that I'm close to and the way that I commit to helping an individual or an organization, my bar for excellence and my standard of action, I know what it is. And that's what I would want other people to recommend to other people. So that's why I would recommend myself.
And I endorse that. I do. I mean, for me, the bar, if you are not getting positive feedback on a regular basis, something's wrong.
Sure.
There's the why not. Like, you're doing something wrong. The clues are there. I am overwhelmed at the feedback that I get on a regular basis and people saying, hey, thanks for being you. Thanks for doing that. This morning, Bill Monbrest sends me a note and he goes, I truly love you. Like how do you not endorse that? So good stuff. It's a great question to kick off your week. If you're not asking yourself hard questions, you're not going to get the right answers. So,
Bingo.
Bingo. We're gonna date ourselves. We're gonna go back to the 90s for motivational music, and this one's a doozy.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with satisfaction when we're done. Satisfaction of what's to come. I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. That's right. Your groove, I do deeply dig. No walls, only the bridge. Myself a dish, my crocketesh wish.
Sing it, baby.
I couldn't ask for another. No, I couldn't ask for another. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart.
Watch out.
So good.
So we're driving. Helen and I are driving. That song comes on Sirius, and I was like, "This is a banger. This is what this is the music." We danced all the time to this stuff. It was just great, you know. So,
Michelle P says throwback to senior year 91.
yeah,
That was
90s,
like,
man.
yeah, the 90s were what a time to be alive. So glad I was born in the 80s so I could experience the 90s.
Right, that group's name is D-Light, but that was like CNC Music Factory, all of that, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, that was the birth of EDM, really.
Yeah,
you know,
was
like that
great.
was electronic dance music was born in the 90s and was that what we were raised on, what we partied to early.
So, Andrew, this is a key takeaway, is that I educated my sons on music. Now, they wound up developing their own taste, but their foundation in music was what I showed them and had them listen to. So good for you. And that song is amazing. I shared it with a couple of friends that I was hanging out with on Friday. And I just said, you know, like I played this song and it's like, you can do magic. If you tell yourself you can do magic, you can, because there's nothing that we do that's really magic. It's all
Also the belief.
It's all in the belief. So in keeping with that theme, more content, you know, watch and get stuff from the Daily Coach, and they're constantly pushing and testing me. They came out with a list of 10 powerful lessons. Mark, do you have it?
I do have it.
So I don't know if they all resonated, because in a lot of cases, some don't, and that's okay. I challenge everything that that is part of my intake. So rock and roll. We got 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
left.
I mean, I think there were some that were just, you know, you hear them all the time or whatever, but like there's two particularly that the number one and number two, because number one, actions speak louder than words. Like, I think, sure, it's a lesson for yourself, but it's also a lesson for the people that you've surrounded yourself with, or the people. Like, I had this conversation with somebody that I was coaching last week where they were like, oh, well, they've told me that they're going to do this and they've told me that they're going to do that, but they haven't done any of it. And I was like, you're listening to the story. You're not paying attention to what actually happening. I was like, you got to put yourself back in the driver's seat. And so, like, we surround ourselves with people who say they'll help and say they'll be good people and say that whatever. And then when you call on them, do they do that? And so, like, for me, less so for myself. I know actions speak louder than words, but for me, it's a real testament to who I surround myself with, who we try to do business with. Does that hold up for them? Do their actions speak louder than their words? Because if they don't, then it's all full of shit anyway.
It's all full of shit anyway. I mean, I talk about the say-do ratio all the time. It's one of the number one takeaways. But what's interesting about this list of 10, and if anybody wants them, you know the rules. All you got to do is reach out and ask. Number 10 was what you put in, you get out. You and I are constantly talking about inputs and outputs. If you have a TV screen and it's unplugged, There's nothing, so whatever you decide to, boom, you plug it in, boom, it's a screen. Life is that way. Life is that way with, when you are open to do good things happen back to you. And so that whole idea about inputs and outputs, you don't put in the work, you're not going to get the results. I mean, it seems pretty simple, but when you put together a list like this, number 7, which was way down the list, your relationships are the most important thing to your happiness.
Spot on. And it's funny how it resonates.
Most important thing, period. Done.
Right. And I had told you, like, I had found that Instagram account that was talking to older people that were, giving their fundamentals of life, or the things that they thought were the keys to success. And like unanimously, they all said relationships. And you can see that in your daily life. Like, who are the people that you're actually holding close to you? And you talked about, are they adding? Are they subtracting? Are they multiplying? Are they dividing? They do 4 things. You can tell with the way you feel whether or not they're adding or multiplying in your life, or whether or not they're subtracting and dividing.
Well, that's a really interesting comment. If you're really in tune with yourself, certain people bring out the best in you. They make you feel good about yourself. They inspire you. They bring you along for the ride, whatever. And other people don't. And it's not necessarily their fault. It's just your vibrations don't connect.
But so like I had this conversation with the Intrepid group when I met with them last Friday, because we were talking about skill sets that make you really great in business development, right? And I listed energy as a skill set. Like, I don't leave my energy up to chance. I know what allows me to show up at a 10 for other people, and I do that because I think that that's what should happen. I should do that for everybody, regardless of whether or not they're a 0. I'm going to show up the way I have to show up, because that's my standard, and I don't leave that to chance. I think that is a skill set. And so if you don't surround yourself with other 10s, you make it very, very difficult to feed your own ability to show up that way consistently.
Well, when you sum it up, and one of the reasons why I love working with you and your brother and with Shay, we all lift each other up. We're all there for each other, but fundamentally control what you can control. You can control your output, and you can show up as a 10. It takes work. That's why you start with the daily huddle. That's why you start with coffee. That's why you start with music. That's why you start with reading and writing. That's why you start with, all of that input creates your output. And so when I wrote about it in the book, which seems like that book is so long ago, but it's like
crazy.
You have a choice. You can choose how you show up. And if you don't show up as a 10, you miss shit. And
you lose your chance at an opportunity.
Yeah, I was like, shit, what happens if someone was in the crowd or overheard me and said, oh, who is that dude? I couldn't sleep.
Sports reference, right? Like a sports reference. For me, it was like the ball would come out of somebody's hands. Like the returner would fumble the ball. And because somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, they weren't there to get the recovery.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't the fact that you didn't get the recovery. It's that you weren't doing what you were supposed to do to put you in position to get it. And that's really what showing up as a 10 is you put yourself in position to find success and be success. Because if you don't, you're costing yourself that opportunity, as Carrie just put in the comments, opportunity cost.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to count on other people to bring you up the ladder. It's okay. I want to be that phone call that people reach out to me or text and say, dude, I'm underwater. Just talk to me for 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
Pour something into me that changes my day. If you don't have that on speed dial or speed text or whatever, I do. Listen, another thing it says here, doubt is inevitable. Right. You're constantly going to doubt yourself. And people freak out when I tell them, I go, listen, I've been a career successful biz dev guy. No one can take that away from me. But I've dealt with mountains of debt where I wake up in the morning and go, I'm never going to sell anything again. Nobody wants me. It's over. It's like they found out I'm a fake, So, but not true. Because
bingo. No, but that's what you deal with And then you get back to your process. You get back to your daily affirmation. You get back to working out. You get back to surrounding yourself with the right people. You get back to your process. And so,
which is what football players will be doing shortly. They will be getting back to the process.
So what we're going to do today, we're getting back to our Monday meeting with everybody in the house. So if you don't have a process, you should reach out and you should become a member of the Get on the Ball community. If you don't have people on speed dial that help bring you up to a 10, you should meet the people of the On the Ball community. And if nothing else, you don't know how to start your day, you should start your day with the Daily Huddle every single day, because this is the place to be. Thanks, Dad. Great start. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this, so let's get down to business.